What is up? In this video, I'm going to be going through some really easy email templates that you can literally take as a brand new copywriter and apply to your copywriting and have professional copywriting right off the bat. Literally brand new copywriters. You can take this template, follow this formula, and produce really, really good copy that is converting like crazy just by taking and literally stealing these templates. So we're going to go through my top 3. There's literally so many. They're all good. But for this video, we're going to be going through 3. First one is the PAS template, all right? So PAS, all right, and that stands for Problem, Agitate, Solution, all right? So I'm gonna give an example of exactly what this would look like for the Problem, Agitate, Solution, but you guys probably are getting an idea, and you're gonna recognize some of these things from emails that you've personally read, okay? So we're gonna use weight loss as an example. So let's say you're writing an email for a company that maybe they help people, like they have an appetite suppressant, or they, sell like some alternative to like a sugary drink or whatever. The idea though is helping people get healthier. So you could have a title to your email like, does sugar control you like a puppet? A question is a great way to kind of get someone's attention. If you were given sugary foods as a kid, it's not your fault that you're addicted. So now I'm building interest. I'm building on that problem. Recent studies show it's one of the most addictive ingredients out there, and it's never been more accessible than it is today. Okay, so now I'm going into the problem. I'm trying to agitate it a little bit more. You might just be a couple bites away from permanently altering your life. Diabetes is rampant in the US. So I'm giving them some data, I'm giving them some proof, some evidence, and I'm really agitating that problem, making them realize how serious sugar could be. What if you could avoid that without making any sacrifices? So this is when we get to that last letter. And obviously this is a very short version, but emails don't have to be long. So now we're going to present the solution. Could be an addiction curber, the world's best sugar substitute. These are just examples that I came up with that like fit with that email. An appetite suppressant. Let's just say it's the world's best sugar substitute. So you just told them like why sugar is terrible. You just agitated that solution or agitated that problem by telling them, hey, like you have this addiction to sugar. It's controlling you. It could cause diabetes. It could wreck your life essentially. And now you're like, but what if you could eat the foods that you love without having to give up anything, without having to make a sacrifice? Here's the solution. Here's how you can do that. And then you give them a link to click and then they buy your product. All right, the next template, we're flying through these. DIC, you guys might have heard of this one. Stands for disrupt, intrigue, and click/close or call to action. There's some different interpretations of what the C stands for, but it all comes down to the same thing, like you want to close that sale. So an example of DIC could be, even that email, there's elements of DIC, like we disrupted them with a question. Question is one way. You can make a bold statement, you can make a weird statement, call them out by name. And you just have to think of like, they're scrolling through all these emails that they're getting in their inbox. What's something that's going to stand out to them and make them stop scrolling and actually click? Same goes for if it's short form content. Same goes for a YouTube title. It goes for any piece of content where you're trying to get their attention. Disrupt is just getting their attention. You don't have their interest yet. You're just getting their attention. Then intrigue is where you build that interest. You're showing them why they should care. And then the click/close is where you're actually getting them to follow through and purchase your product or, engage with your content or whatever that call to action is. So like for the weight loss example, like let's say you find the statistic of how many people were diagnosed with diabetes this year, and then you make the headline, you could be one of the next blank number of people diagnosed with diabetes this week or this year or whatever. Or you could find the number like as a proportion, like maybe 3 out of 10 adults were diagnosed with diabetes this year. Are you the next ? That's disrupting. Now you got to build the intrigue. Talk about why so many adults are getting diagnosed with diabetes, how they're addicted to sugar, or how the processed foods are making, all these high carb foods too accessible and your body is just becoming insulin resistant. And build that intrigue, make them care. And then you present the actual solution with click or the close. Very similar to PAS. It's just kind of formatted slightly different, but you're achieving the same thing overall. So they're all going to look a little bit the same. The hero's journey. This is a really fun one if you have a good story, but it does take a little bit more work and a little bit more experience to craft a story that is compelling, because a lot of people will craft stories that they're interested in, but maybe their audience isn't interested in. But the hero's journey generally follows a structure of like somebody finding out that they have this responsibility, or they have this power, or they have this skill or something that puts a responsibility on them. So it starts with a relatable person, then, you know, having some kind of like big mission thrust upon them. And usually there's a mentor or something to guide them along the way as they embark on this mission and they doubt themselves. And there's this whole arc of them, like, you know, building the skill set. Like, for example, Hunger Games. I love that movie. Katniss is just like your average girl. She's, you know, living in this village. She's poor. She's not doing too great, but she has a skill, and people resonate with her because everyone wants to feel like they have something that sets them apart, even despite being in normal situations, whatever. So people resonate with her. That's why the movies are popular. And then, you know, she has this new mission thrust on her where she saves her sister by volunteering as tribute. And now she's got to find a way to survive so she can come back and take care of her family. And so people are resonating with that. Everyone wants to be a hero. So that's why it's called the hero's journey, is that you're painting the picture for the customer of where they are by sharing where somebody was, and then this arc of how they got to this desired end result that your client wants. So you could tell a story about, let's say, this lady, Samantha. She was addicted to sugar. She woke up every morning, had the same breakfast, you know, Fruit Loops or whatever every morning for breakfast, and she just could not go a day without sugar. And then she went to the doctor's office and found out she was diagnosed with diabetes and that she could lose her vision if she didn't fix it in the next 6 months, and make this crazy, you know, thing that's thrust upon her. And now she has to go on this journey of strict dieting because she wants to be there for her kids and she wants to be able to keep up with them, and she doesn't want to lose her health. And so then you paint this picture of, you know, Samantha embarked on this challenge to, I don't know, eliminate sugar. And despite not being able to fix her diet for years, when she found this product, it made everything so much easier. And you'd have to make the story really engaging for that target audience, but then you present that product again as a solution, the same as the other formats. And that's a really, really compelling way to make a sale, is with a story. And you don't have to just have the story as the whole email. The story can be like just integrated in with the email. Like maybe you disrupt them with something else and then you tell the story towards the end, or you start with the story and then you kind of switch over into just copy where you're telling them about the benefits of the product. Or you can just do the email or you can just do the story as email. But anyway, those are some great templates for you guys to follow, and just find emails and identify, highlight, okay, this is the disrupt part of the email. This is where they're building intrigue. This is where they're doing the call to action, and start to identify those things so you can recognize those patterns across different emails and try to identify what sort of template it's following, and then just like duplicate that. Then go on those emails and, you know, take out the product they're advertising, put yours in, share relevant examples or relevant calls to action or relevant like intrigue. Just build it around a different product and see like how that practice is going to change the way you think, so you start to recognize those patterns. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. I'm just chilling outside because it's so nice out today, but I actually have a whole bunch of copy that I'm going to be going and writing tonight. So hope you guys are having a great day. I'm going to get busy with that. I know this is a short video, but hope it was helpful.